The new update is here, and with it comes a new map to learn about. So join me as we follow Ultron to stop him once and for all as we head to Krakoa's sister location, Arakko. It's all the way up to Mars, so let's get ready for the Statues of Apocalypse and the Statues of Genesis, or the red exterior planet of the... Wait, why is it all robotic? And where's all the red dust? And wait, why is Groot the payload? Well, let's answer all of these questions as we recap the history of Arakko, explain where Arakko is from, and determine what the two teams are fighting for on this robotic planet. First, why is Arakko on Mars? Well, a long time ago, before any part of Marvel Rivals took place, the mutants lived on an island called Okara. Over time, the mutants decided that some of them wanted to move away from humanity, because humanity kind of hates the mutants. So, the island split into two sister locations, Krakoa and Arakko. Both are anagrams of Okara. While Krakoa and its mutants stayed on Earth to try and form beneficial relations with humanity, Arakko traveled to Mars, where they presumably would be far enough from the humans. Fast forward to the time stream entanglement. Krakoa was being erased from time, so Storm time-shifted the island into the future. After she did, they checked to see if Arakko was okay, but they got no response back. Why? Well, this is where Doom 99 comes in. After the time stream entanglement, he got a vision that the Age of Ultron was coming, and so he tried to erase Ultron from history. But because of the time stream entanglement, this was too difficult, and Doom would need more time energy known as chronovium to complete this task. Unfortunately for him, Ultron's database detected these tamperings, and Ultron decided to head back to Earth to find and stop the perpetrator. However, Ultron noticed a new mysterious metal on Mars, now known as Mysterium. So, Ultron made a pit stop and took over Mars, and therefore took over Arakko. After all of this happened, Doom went to Emma Frost to make a deal with her. He would figure out a way to get rid of the pain that Krakoa is feeling from all the time energy that is captured inside of the island. And in return, he could attend the Hellfire Gala and maybe make some beneficial relationships. Now, the next section of this story is a recap of the Krakoa story, so I'll go through it very quickly, but my previous video on the topic goes into it in much more detail. Ultron follows Doom's signal to the Hellfire Gala and invades. The mutants try to stop him. Ultron notices the power of Cerebro and finds that that will be a clear advantage, so he takes it and retreats back to Mars with a new and upgraded body. The mutants and other partygoers now have to stop Ultron, not only because he took the mutants' most prized possession, but also because Ultron will very quickly take over the universe, and potentially all of the chronoverses that are now mixed up in time. Before we actually travel to Arakko, we need to make a quick pit stop. We have a small question to answer. If Ultron is still the main villain of the story, why is he a playable character? Well, Tony Stark, in all his geniusness and hubris, found the old version of Ultron that they destroyed right before he took Cerebro and created a new body. Tony took this older version and installed some Jarvis firewalls and reprogramming to bring Ultron back to life and force him to work for the heroes to try to take out the newer version, now named Xtron. Tony did this despite everyone else telling him that this is too risky of a plan. But Tony's reasoning for doing this is none of the humanoid heroes have enough processing power to keep up and stay ahead of Ultron's plan. But maybe Ultron will. Anyways, the mutants and other heroes form a plan to stop Ultron. The island of Krakoa will send its avatar to Arakko. The heroes will fight and bring the avatar to the Great Ring, Arakko's center tree. And once the two sister islands join, an organic reboot will occur, combining them back into Okara. This reboot will purge Ultron's virus from Arakko, and maybe all of Mars, at which point they have a chance to take out the weakened Xtron once and for all. Now that we know the offensive team's plan, we have one glaring question. Why would any hero work with Ultron to try to stop this? Well, the heroes aren't working for Ultron. They are working for Doom. In the intro of the defense side, we see Doom 99 standing in the background, and from the setting, we can tell that they are currently on Krakoa. He uses his powers of magic and technology to send the defensive team and some Doombots up to Arakko, which is why we can see some Doombots around the map. Now, Doom 99 has betrayed the mutants, because he wants to beat Ultron in a way that will give him more power. As we see in the victory animation, he plans on taking the massive amount of time energy found within the avatar of Krakoa and removing Ultron from history. This would do many things. It would damage or maybe even kill the island of Krakoa, but it would also erase Extron and all of his assets, which currently includes Arakko and Mars, from the timeline. Doom's trickery ends up solving all of his problems. It stops the Age of Ultron from happening. It completes his promise to Emma to get rid of the time energy that is causing Krakoa's pain, and it also gains him more experience with time energy, so he can be one step ahead in his rivalry with his past self, who, recently, as we saw in Season 1, gained lots of power from absorbing all of the vampires in New York City. So, the offensive side plans on cleansing the island of Ultron's virus, and then taking him out the old-fashioned way, with force. While the defensive team thinks erasing Ultron from history with Doom is the cleanest and safest option. Maybe not for the mutants, but for all of life, it's worth it. Now that we've gotten the main story out of the way, now let's go over some fun little details that I've found in my short time with the map of Arakko. Arakko has much less breakable terrain than other maps, but behind and above the pathway towards the second point, if you break this wall, you can find this vacuum cleaner looking thing. This is the original Ultron of this universe, and it's a throwback to how he looked in some of his older comics. The portals have returned, with a sleek new design, but there's not as many as there are on the Krakoa map. However, we do have a new version, the one-way portals. If you happen to be up in this area along the first point path, you might be confused about these damaged portals. But both teams have a portal that connects to one of these damaged ones. Each team can use their portal to quicken the walk back to the battlefield, give them the high ground, or let them secretly flank behind the enemy. The waiting room of the offensive side is very efficient. It shows Krakoa's branches and the natural portal from the old map, indicating that Krakoa sent the team to this location. And it also has a few new techno portals as a tutorial to the map gimmick. There is the classic two-way portal on the left and right, which may be confusing at first, but you just need to know that the exit portal is always highlighted when you get close to the one you're going to activate. But then there's this portal that seems dumb and useless, because why would you have a wall if there's gonna be a portal straight through it? Well, it's the demonstration of the one-way portal. The side closest to the door is damaged, meaning you can't go back through it. It's a very small way of showing us the gimmick that we might see during the match. Where we see each of the Dooms next is up in the air. But, wherever it goes, I'll be following. Thank you very much for watching. And if you like the video, I hope you try out some of the other videos I've made. And subscribe if you want to see where the next map takes us. And finally, thanks to all of my patrons. Your support has meant a lot to me. Goodbye!